Alrighty. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody. Hope y'all are having a good Saturday so far, and I also hope that you guys had a great Halloween. Me personally, I didn't really do too much just because, I don't know, I just didn't really feel like doing too much, but I did, I just went to church yesterday, had some good time. I'm a small group leader there, and just honestly had some good time diving in the Word and just getting to know my group members a little bit more, and that was honestly like more than enough for me. But now I had to wake up a little bit early this morning because I had work again and worked from 7 to 2. So now it's like 6 o'clock for me when I'm making this video. So I want to make sure I get this video done before I go out because I'm actually about to go play basketball in a little bit. But anyways, back to today's lift. Today's lift was it was pretty solid. I'd say it was a pretty decent pump. I'd say honestly like my side delts are cooked right now, and the fact that I have basketball in like an hour and a half. Well, I don't know, dude. I'll have to give you guys an update maybe like tomorrow or like Monday to let you know how my delts felt while I'm playing basketball. But bro, it's not feeling good too far. But we'll have to see what happens. But to start off today, just like usual, did 5 minutes on the recumbent bike, just to kind of get nice and warmed up and just to start the workout off nicely. And while I was doing the recumbent bike, had my regular casual clash match like usual. And today's one it was a pretty tedious match. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of back and forth in the beginning where I remember that we were both like had like equally perfect defense for each other's offense, and literally like the match like went on for a good like minute or so and nothing happened. And then basically, since I have like really big characters in my lineup and the Electro Giants is absolutely OP, I basically just used that against the guy. And since like the elixir was like an overtime's like double, I was able to basically just like spam Mega Knight, Electro Giant, Vines, whatever I had in my deck, and I cooked them. So definitely started off the workout pretty nicely, and then we hopped on to the first exercise. Before I talk about the first exercise, just for warm up stuff today, didn't really do too much stuff. I just did like some of this like banded work, just like usual. For shoulders and arms, there's not really much you really can do. But besides maybe just like opening up your shoulders a little bit more and maybe just warming up your rear delts, but it's nothing that crazy, so I'm not even gonna show it. But anyways, for the first workout today, started off with some rear delt flies. These felt pretty okay today. I think I might have maybe went a little too heavy. Like my form wasn't honestly like not the greatest, and I didn't really feel enough in like my rear delts to really kind of feel like them actually like burning. But we still progressed for in terms of weight and reps. So I think as long as we're progressing and then just making sure that we're eating, that's the thing I really need to lock in is every single time I run out of groceries, I always start panicking in terms of things I have to eat, and then I start eating a bunch of the wrong things and ended up not hitting my protein goals like at all, and then my carbs are really low and it just throws up the balance of everything. So that just goes to tell you, make sure that you have plenty of groceries in the house at all times, and to try not to resort to fast food as much as you can, just because it's going to make hitting your macros that much harder. But that's aside from the point. Back to the workout. Just did the rear delts here for about 3 sets or so. First set was just my top set of like 32 pounds on the cable stack. Then I moved down to like one notch down. It was like 27s or something, and did that for like 10, and then one set of 9. Felt pretty decent. Then headed on over to triceps. For triceps today, kept it relatively simple, but got a decent burn towards the end. Started off with some tricep pushdowns with the straight bar. I know I usually do like single arm. It's just that I didn't really want to spend like a ton of time just trying to do like single arm stuff, and I just kind of wanted to just get through this workout. I don't know what it is, but every single time I have like work on the same day, I have a workout. At least for like Saturdays when I have to wake up really early. My workouts just haven't been that good in a while, so I got some pre-workout a little bit earlier. Yeah, just a C4 drink. I probably should have drank it all at once rather than just like throughout the workout, but that's on me, and honestly didn't hit me that crazy. I feel like my tolerance for caffeine is honestly relatively high. Like I've had in the past like double scoop of pre-workout that's like 500 milligrams total of caffeine, and it has beta alanine in it, and it hasn't affected me. Like, my tolerance is just that high. Like, it's low-key wild. But anyways, for tricep pushdowns, just went here for 2 sets, did 2 sets of 10 to 12, and got a pretty decent burn here just to start before I went into the EZ bar skull crushers, just because I have like semi bad elbows, just because I had an injury like a couple of years ago. Nothing major, it's just like elbow tendonitis, so I always try to be careful and smart about how I approach heavy lifting. So just make sure I get my high rep stuff here first, just because I know it's not going to go that crazy on my central nervous system. And that way I can just be nice and prepped so that I can feel every rep in my triceps and not in my elbows when I do EZ bar skull crushers. Then, once we finished up the push downs, head on over to some skull crushers. Unfortunately, someone did have the EZ bar I was looking for. I was looking for the one that you could load up weight on rather than just like the ones that already have weight on them. But we just kind of like stuck with what we had, and so I know I usually do like 70s, so I just went up to 80 pounds today and ended up doing 3 sets of almost 7. So last set I got 6, but the first 2 I got 7, and honestly felt pretty good. I think honestly my form was improving throughout every set, and I was actually feeling like relatively like a decent stretch while I was doing these, and honestly it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I just did it here for 3 sets, then finished off with some bodyweight dips and some assisted dips, which I'll show you guys right here. So for these ones, I just like to do this just for like a really good burnout, and honestly just literally just like solely like a burnout, and to see trying to give my triceps a good compound, which is like kind of like bodyweight dips, that type of thing. Like if you're like heavy enough or you just haven't trained dips in a while, honestly, like a lot of times these are just more than enough that you need for in terms of tricep work, that type of thing. But I just put these at the end just because I felt like I could have done a little bit more with triceps that didn't really feel that cooked yet. I know I'm not supposed to be chasing a pump all the time, but I feel like that's a good rule of thumb for me to know how much more I need to give in my workout, because I really want these arms to grow because they're very, very stubborn. I mean, obviously, like a big part of it is probably eating, but I just want these arms to grow as much as I can. So we're just trying our very best with it. But yeah, just did skull crushers here. Well, not skull crushers. The dips here. Started off with some bodyweight dips, then supersetted with assisted dips at the end. And whenever I do the superset, I just do really slow negative so I could really stretch out the tricep, and then I basically explode, and then do it over and over until I basically can't anymore. And I do that for maybe like 2 or so sets, and then I'm all done. So that's all there was for triceps. Then for biceps, also kept it very simple. Started off with a machine preacher curl. Did this for about 2 sets or so for a rep range of 10, roughly like 8 to 12 around there. And first set I got about 11, second set I got about 9. Felt a pretty decent squeeze on my biceps here. And once I finished up these ones, headed on over to some EZ bar bicep curls. These ones felt pretty decent as well. I liked these a lot, actually. I felt like I get a good squeeze and good contraction of my biceps. The only thing is that I think it might be more beneficial if maybe I like sit against something so I don't have to load up as much weight when I do these. But I think at least for now, honestly, I should be pretty chilling with what I got right here and just kind of stick with it. So can't really complain too much there. And did these for about 2 sets. Yeah, I did this for about 2 sets. First set I got about 11 with the 35s. Then I got about 10 for the second set. Then finished off with some hammer curls right after this one. Then for hammer curls, something I've been trying to do recently is basically having like a top set and 2 back down sets for a lot of the exercises that I do, because I feel like my body's responds really well to high rep stuff in terms of like depending on what muscle it is. High reps, probably not for anything like a big muscle like well, actually for legs I think it responds pretty well, but I don't think for chest or back that it responds as well in terms of high reps. But at least for arms, I think my forearms are really good responders to high rep stuff. So I just started to kind of just get the best of both worlds and do 1 top set with the 55s and then 2 back down sets with the 35s. And then, so basically the way I did it was first set was like aiming for 6 to 8 reps. And then Last two sets we're aiming for around 10 to 20 reps. Well, honestly, like maybe 15 and 20. That's probably what I was aiming for. And I got a really, really good burn on these. So much to the point that my forearms are like so exhausted by the time I got the lateral raises, but actually didn't really impede my strength or performance that much. I actually felt pretty solid still. And once I finished up the hammer curls here, moved on to some laterals to finish off, and I got really, really good burn here. Like, I literally could not raise my delts after I did the crazy drops that I did after the last set I did, which is basically I went from 25s to 15s to 10s. And on the last set of when I used the 10s, I basically just raised the dumbbells and just held them there for as long as I can, and just do that for as many times as I can until I basically can't raise my arms anymore. And so that's why I'm saying that I might be low-key cooked for when I do basketball later, but that doesn't really matter too much. I just know I'm going to have a good time, and we're going to have a good night. So that's pretty much it for today's lift today, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. And without further ado, before I leave you guys, just remember, get jacked, be cool with everybody you're around, and we're all going to make it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday evening, and make some crazy gains, eat some good food, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, hope you guys have a good one. See you later.